and tell the judge to his face, if you don't rule in our favor, we're going to kill you. What will the judge do? So now, the situation has really, what the court has done in this, but I'm here not to side with the position of APC or PDP. I don't really believe in both parties. I still keep saying they are both sides of the same coin, and they are all deeply compromised. They don't have the interest of this country or the Nigerian citizenry at heart, because it's all about money. It's all about getting power in order to pay their debts to whomsoever. And the judiciary took control. They have to continue doing it from now henceforward in order to save this country from total collapse.
Mark,
well, there are definitely questions. First of all, some people think that it's not completely divorced from security situation. I would like you to weigh in on that. They believe that if fairness is not upheld now, it could degenerate. Do you think that is likely in this situation? Then Chamberlain raised the question about Justice Abang. You haven't quite addressed that, because the panel was quite clear, saying that he granted reliefs not sought, constituting himself into Father Christmas. Some people think that that judgment should be investigated. Do you also support that?
Well, I'll start with Justice Abang. I cannot sit here and pontificate over whether a particular ruling or decision of court should be investigated. I believe that his decisions were perverse. I've been here before to say that there are very rudimentary principles of law that everybody should know, every lawyer should know, much less a judge. I don't understand why a judge will make pronouncements against the rights of a party that is not before it. It is wrong. It is totally, absolutely wrong. I don't know how you can give a decision and on a subsequent application extend your decision to cover a time frame that was not previously covered. I believe that was wrong. Now, those are ethical issues. In respect of all this matter we're talking about, the Ondo matter is a microcosm of the general malaise in the Nigerian entity. That is the Ondo matter. The Ondo matter epitomizes what Nigeria is going through. The brief respite we have is an indication that when the chips are down, Nigeria can withdraw from the brink. I believe, whether it's going to be investigated, I believe that something unethical happened. It is either out of sheer ignorance or whatever, but the judge erred. And if that's what you want, or if you want me to say, I believe the judge erred.
But what is the procedure? What's the procedure for correcting this kind of scenario? Now,
I believe there are petitions in respect of that decision before the appropriate panel, the almighty NJC. I believe both sides have filed various petitions in respect of his decisions that, look, this is suspect. Something went wrong here. And I believe that in the course of time, in the course of redeeming its image, the judiciary, I mean NJC is part of the judiciary, would then do the right thing. Now, having said that, let's talk about the security issue. I don't think, you see, many a time, a lot of things go on, discussions go on in beer parlors, a lot of things go on social media and all that. Those who are, Mr. Ita Jegere, gentlemen, all the while, okay, for instance, after the judgment, let me digress a bit, after the judgment, I read somewhere, and I'm yet to read a retraction, that Mr. Jimo Ibrahim, who is a lawyer like me, incidentally, he attended the same school I attended, Ife, and we were very well trained, and they are still being well trained. He made some comments to the effect that the judgment of the Saulawa-led panel was procured by money from the treasury of Odo State. Those are the kind of comments that can be made in beer parlors. Those are the kind of comments that non-lawyers can make and get away with it. But for as long as you are a lawyer and you make such perverse comments against courts of the land, Chamberlain, sorry.
No, it's a commercial break, actually.
Oh, okay.
We need to take that. But we'll be back in a moment. And then hypothesize also. Join us again. Welcome back to Sunrise Daily. Could you go ahead and conclude your thoughts?
As I was saying, You see, comments. You see, it's like the situation where there's this proverbial saying that when the big bully slams you on the floor, the small bully will then climb on top of you and start mocking you. You have a situation where, because the judiciary is under serious scrutiny, a lot of opprobrium has been thrown at the judiciary. You have a situation where all sorts of frivolous petitions, the kinds we had never heard of, as bad as things had been, they are now coming up. And then litigants come out of the courtroom and they make utterances. Non-lawyer litigants can even make such utterances. But when a litigant who has just lost a case and still has a case before the Supreme Court has the audacity to say, oh, that was paid for from the Treasury. Paid for. Immediately, you are indicting that panel. Simply because you lost. And you are saying tomorrow is just a one-day ruling. Tomorrow I'm at the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court is still a court of law. And it must guard its jurisdiction, its own jurisdiction, and the jurisdiction of courts below it jealously. Now, when somebody makes that kind of comment, I believe that the further step that the judiciary has to take in order to protect itself is to call such people to order. The executive will not do it. The legislature will not do it because they are the same.
Okay, let's hypothesize before we wrap up about this particular matter. The case before the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
If it goes the other way, or first of all, if they rule on it, will they have a point if the other party says, look, this has been overtaken with time? It can't be considered. And if it goes the other way, what kind of impact or implication will it have on the outcome of the election?
Let me say, with all sense of responsibility, that, and this is a matter of personal opinion, I believe I'm right, based on the little knowledge I have of the law, that the Supreme Court will not overturn the decision of the Court of Appeal in this case. The principles are clear, they are very glaring. And on all grounds of appeal, all the grounds of appeal filed by Itayo Jegede, they were upheld. Now, you will appreciate the fact that the other side went to the Supreme Court to stop the Court of Appeal from delivering its rulings. And the Supreme Court said, you are coming, the Supreme Court did not just strike out all the frivolous applications. It struck out the applications with a venom. Made pronouncement saying, you come before us with this kind of applications, you are a lawyer, and are awarded costs. Are you with me? Now, morning shows the day. So I'm saying this with all the sense of, I have no reason to believe that